So, we are dealing with the time varying fields and Maxwell's equation, which is the third chapter. And in this modified Ampere's circuit law for time varying fields, we are going to learn. In the previous chapter, we learned the induced EMFs and how many types of, that means in how many ways we can get the induced EMF, that we have learned. Now the topic is modified Ampere's circuit law for time varying fields. We know the Ampere's circuit law. What is Ampere's circuit law is going to be, your Ampere's circuit law is going to be del cross H bar is equal to J bar. So this is the Ampere's circuit law, and this is not for the time varying fields, that you have to remember. So now if you apply, if you have a del cross H bar is a curl of the magnetic field intensity, which is equal to current density, that is the Ampere's circuit law. So if you apply a divergence for it, if you apply a divergence for it, applying divergence for it will give del dot J bar. So this is nothing but applying divergence. So we have to remember one property of vectors is that curl of the divergence of a curl is going to be 0. So divergence of which quantity we are calculating? Divergence means we will get del dot, that you remember simply. Del dot is the divergence, and del cross H bar, this del cross is the curl. Del cross is the curl. So divergence of a curl in the vector identities, this is going to be 0. This is going to be 0. Anyway, divergence of a curl is going to be 0, and this is a del dot J bar. And this is the formula we will get when we apply this to the time varying field. This is the formula we will get, but actually del dot J bar is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t. This is from continuity equation. Continuity equation. Already I have told this, and you can go through your notes that continuity equation is del dot J bar is going to be minus dou rho v by dou t. So this is the formula, but you can see that this is different and this is different. So if you want to apply this Ampere's circuit law for time varying fields, you have to modify this. You have to modify this. So if you want to modify this, what I will do, del cross H bar is equal to J bar. Already I have applied this for steady magnetic fields. So to deal with the varying magnetic fields, so what I have to do, I have to add another quantity which is called N bar. And now we don't know what is N bar, but we will look after this. We will get what is N bar by solving this equation. Now we can apply your divergence. Applying divergence theorem to this, so you will get H bar is equal to del dot J bar plus del dot N bar. Now this is 0. We know that using the vector identities, the divergence of a curl is going to be always 0. So del dot J bar plus del dot M bar. Now what is del dot J bar? So del dot J bar is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t and plus del dot n bar This is going to be 0. From this equation, we got this equation. So del dot n bar is going to be, del dot n bar is equal to dou rho v by dou t. Dou rho v by dou t. So we will just simply modify. We are manipulating the equation, that's it. We are not deriving any new thing here. Only we are changing the numbers or numerals or letters which are there inside the equation. So we got del dot n bar as this. Now we know that what is rho v? Rho v is equal to del dot d bar. We can write this. So this is from the electric field equations. So rho v is equal to del dot d bar. So by using this here, del dot n bar is equal to dou of del dot d bar by dou t. We can write this. Now I will simply change the positions of this. So del dot n bar is equal to del dot rho d bar by dou d bar by dou t. So by comparing these two, I will get n bar, the new quantity which is added in this steady magnetic field Ampere circuit law. To modify this law, we have added one n bar here. That n bar value is going to be dou d bar by dou t. So this is nothing but, just let me tell something about this. So n bar is going to be dou d bar by dou t. Now what is my J bar? J bar is the current density. J bar is the current density, which is the current flowing through a particular area. Current by amperes per meter square is its unit. And generally it is referred to the conduction current. What is the meaning of conduction current? Conduction current is the current due to the moving charges. We know that some charge, if some charge is moved, it will constitute a current. So this J bar is nothing but current density, and this current is from movement of the charge inside the conductor. So this can be considered as JC bar, conduction current density. We can consider it. And this N bar, you observe this N bar. What is D bar? What is D bar? D bar is the flux density. That is the flux moving out of the surface per unit area. This is the flux density. And what we have learnt about the flux? Flux is nothing but charge. Flux is nothing but charge. Now this flux density is the Coulomb per meter square. Flux density is the Coulomb per meter square, and this is with respect to T. Coulomb per meter square per second. So what is Coulomb per second will give? It is nothing but a current. So let me write this. This is D bar is Coulomb per meter square, and by time second. If I write this Coulomb per second meter square, I can write. What is Coulomb per second? What is charge per time? Q by T, which is nothing but current. So this will become current I, లేదా ampere per meter square. What is this ampere per meter square? Which is nothing but a current density which is of different type. Current density of different type. And this current density is called displacement current density. It is represented as JD bar. So total current density is going to be, your J bar is going to be, it is going to be split into two parts. One is conduction current density and the displacement current density. So we can observe a main thing here that in the static magnetic fields, we will have only a conduction current density. In the time varying magnetic fields, we will encounter in electromagnetics, we will encounter a new current density which is called displacement current density, which is represented with JD bar. So I will rub this and we go for the next topic. What we have seen, del cross H bar is equal to JC bar plus JD bar. That is conduction current density plus displacement current density. This is the modified Ampere's circuital law. Now we have taken a circuit. In this circuit, a time varying field is applied to the circuit, and here the circuit is the parallel combination of the resistor and the capacitor. It is a parallel combination of a resistor and a capacitor, and we know that here this is a parallel branch and the current will be divided into two branches of the circuit. Let the current flowing through the R is I1 and the current flowing through C is capacitor is I2. Now we know that the resistor will flow the current due to the charges, movement of charges. So the current which is flowing through the resistor is going to be the conduction current. It is going to be the conduction current, which is equal to IC, which is due to the movement of charge. It is movement of the charge particles inside the material. But the capacitor will not flow that type of current. So the capacitor will make the current to flow through this. That current is going to be the displacement current. That is, displacement of the current charges will be treated as a displacement current. So that is I2. Now we deal with I1. So I1 is a simple conducting current, and this is represented by IC. So what is my JC is going to be? JC bar is going to be IC by area. And what is my IC? IC is going to be V by R. Already area is there. Now suppose I know that what is E bar? E is equal to V by L. I will take. So E is equal to V by L, or otherwise I can take it as a distance. Now I will take it as a length. That is the distance. So what is my V is going to be? So V is equal to E into L. Otherwise E is equal to V by L I can write. Now I will modify this equation. Suppose I have taken this JC bar is equal to, if I divide this with L, then what I will get? I will get this as E bar and this as rho. And you know what is rho? Rho is the resistivity of a material property. And this resistance is directly proportional to the length, and it is directly proportional to the it is inversely proportional to the area. We know that. So R is directly proportional to L by A, and if R is equal to rho L by A, then rho is going to be RA by L. I think you got this. Rho is equal to RA by L. So instead of RA by L, I can write the resistivity of the material rho. So what is 1 by rho? So 1 by rho is going to be JC bar is equal to, the top one is E bar, and this is 1 by rho, resistivity reciprocal is sigma E bar. So Jc bar is equal to sigma E bar. This is the conduction current density. Now I go for the displacement current density. So initially the charge on the plates is going to be 0. Initially, while the current flowing through this capacitor, the charge on the plates is going to be, initial charge is going to be 0. So what is the voltage, what is the current through a capacitor? The current through a capacitor I2 is equal to C dV by dt. This is the formula, you know that. What is the current through a capacitor? Current through a capacitor is C dV by dt. And we know that the formula for capacitor is equal to epsilon A by D. What is the value for capacitance? When you want to find the capacitance value, it will be in terms of dimensions of the plates, that is epsilon A by D, where A is the area of the plates and D is the distance between the plates and epsilon is the property of the medium between the plates. So C is equal to, we know that C is equal to epsilon A by D. If I substitute here, then I2 is equal to C, instead of C, epsilon A by D into dV by dt. This D is different and this D is different. This D is the distance between the plates and it is the differential dV by dt. So if I take A here, then I2 by A will become epsilon A into dV by dt. Epsilon A dV by dt. I will get this formula. So what is, epsilon by D, not E, epsilon by D I will get. So when A goes here, epsilon by D I will get epsilon by D into dV by dt. So now, what is I2 by A? I2 by A is the current by area, which is a density, current density. I will represent it with the D, that is displacement current density. JD bar is equal to epsilon by D into dV by dt. So this is my JD bar. Now if I take D into this, because this is a constant, I can take into this. So epsilon into differentiation of V by D by dt I can take, because the D is the constant thing. If I want, I can take it out, otherwise I can take inside. So JD bar is going to be epsilon, and what is V by D? In the previous topic we have learned. So voltage by some distance or length will be given as E. So it is going to be epsilon E bar by dt. I can write like this. Now what is JD bar? JD bar is going to be, here epsilon is also constant. I can take it inside the differential. So D of dt of epsilon E bar I can write like this. What is epsilon E bar? You know that epsilon E bar is equal to D bar. So JD bar is going to be differential of d bar. Differential of d bar. I will rub it and I will explain this. So what I got, finally what is j bar I got. So what is j bar I got? J d bar is equal to, what I got there? D by dt of epsilon e bar. And this can be written as, if I am considering epsilon e bar is equal to d bar, you know that d bar is equal to epsilon e bar. This is a formula. D bar is equal to epsilon e bar. Now if I consider d bar, this differential will become partial differentiation, because d bar will depend upon more than one parameter. So I can write it as dou by dou t of d bar. Dou by dou t of d bar, that is dou d bar by dou t. So what is my current density J bar is equal to conduction current density Jc bar plus displacement current density Jd bar. What is Jc bar I got in the previous thing? Jc bar is equal to sigma E bar plus, what is Jd bar? Jd bar I got it as dou d bar by dou t. So this is my total current density in the time varying fields. Now let me derive something through this. Let me derive something through this and we will go through a problem here. So what is the problem? I hope you understood this. And what is the current density in the time varying fields? So conduction current density as well as displacement current density will combinedly will form the total current density in the fields. Now if I replace, I can write this as J bar is equal to sigma E bar plus dou epsilon E bar by dou t, if I take like this, and which is going to be the Jc bar plus Jd bar. If I have taken ratio of the magnitudes of Jc bar and magnitudes of Jd bar, then what I will get, this is sigma E bar divided by dou by dou t is dependent upon the time. That means it is dependent upon the frequency. You just remember this. Dou by dou t is equal to j omega. If I write this, then it will be j omega epsilon E bar. This and this will be cancelled out. And if I have taken magnitude of this, then in magnitude j also will be cancelled out. So sigma by epsilon omega is going to be the ratio of current densities. So this is a formula. This is a formula very important while we are dealing with problems. And you have to remember one thing here. This sigma is the conductivity of the material and epsilon is the medium property and omega is the frequency. So the ratio of current densities is dependent upon the medium properties. It is dependent upon the medium properties and the frequency of the medium properties and the frequency of the signal which is going to be applied. So now we will see what is the properties of this ratio of current densities. So this is nothing but Jc bar by Jd bar. So ratio is going to be sigma by epsilon omega. If this ratio is very very greater than 1, when it will be very very greater than 1? When numerator is very greater than denominator. Then only it will become very very greater than 1. If the numerator is very large, means conductivity is very large. That means the medium is a conductor. The medium is a conductor. If this ratio value is very very greater than 1, then the medium is a conductor. Then the medium is a conductor. Now, if this ratio sigma by epsilon omega is very very less than 1, then what will happen? If this is a very very less than 1, then what it shows? The numerator is less and denominator is very large. That you can have. The numerator is less and denominator large. That means the displacement current density is very large when compared to the conduction current density. When this displacement current density will occur? When the current is trying to flow through the dielectric. When it is flowing through the dielectric, what will be there in the between the plates of the capacitor or capacitor plates మధ్యలో ఏముంటుంది? డయాలెక్ట్రిక్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ డయాలెక్ట్రిక్ నుంచి కరెంట్ వెళ్తే దెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ కరెంట్. అంటే దాని అర్థం ఏంటి? డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ ఎక్కువ ఉంది అని అంటే ద మీడియం ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి ఏ డయాలెక్ట్రిక్. ద మీడియం ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి ఏ medium is a dielectric. Medium is going to be a dielectric. And now, if the medium is something, how the medium will behave? Let us see. Here, the value of this ratio will decide what is the medium. Medium ఏంటి అన్నది డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది. If the ratio value చాలా ఒకటి కంటే ఎక్కువ ఉంటే, రేషియో వాల్యూ ఒకటి కంటే తక్కువ ఉంటే ఏమవుతుందో డిసైడ్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ చాలా తక్కువ ఉందనుకో. ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటే ఏమవుతుంది అది? ఇఫ్ ఇట్స్ వాల్యూ ఈజ్ వెరీ వెరీ లెస్, దెన్ ద మీడియం ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి ఏ కండక్టింగ్ మీడియం. ఒక మీడియంలో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ చాలా తక్కువ ఉన్న వేవ్ని కనుక అప్లై చేసామనుకో, ఒక మీడియంకి ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ తక్కువ ఉన్న వేవ్ని అప్లై చేసామనుకో, చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? అది కండక్టింగ్ మీడియం అని అర్థమవుతుంది మనకి. కండక్టింగ్ మీడియం. అదే మీడియంకి ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఎక్కువ ఉన్న సిగ్నల్ని అప్లై చేస్తే నువ్వు ఏదైతే కండక్టింగ్ మీడియం అనుకున్నావో అదే డయాలెక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం అయిపోతుంది. ఎందుకని? బికాస్ ఇట్స్ వాల్యూ ఈజ్ వెరీ హై. ఇఫ్ ఒమేగా ఈజ్ వెరీ హై, then this ratio will become very very less than 1, and whatever you thought it as a conducting medium, that will become the dielectric medium. So this ratio is very useful while you are dealing with the problem. So let us see one problem. So conduction current density in a given lossy dielectric medium, conduction current density Jc equal to 0.02 sin 10 to the power of 90 ampere per meter square. Find the displacement current density if sigma is equal to 10 cube Siemens per meter and epsilon r is equal to 6.5. And what is the data given here? Data is Jc is given 0.02 sin 10 to the power of 90. So its original general formula is going to be A sin omega t. So A is the amplitude and sin is the sine. Omega is this and t is this. So from this what we will get? We will get omega is equal to 10 to the power of 9 radians per second, and epsilon r is given. So What is epsilon? Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. It is another medium which is not the free space. So epsilon naught into epsilon r. Epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into 6.5. I will give its value, epsilon value. So here the value is not given. I will tell the value. 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into 6.5. I will write it afterwards. Now some value I will get. So what is my formula? JC bar by JD bar is equal to sigma by epsilon omega. So we know the sigma also given. Sigma is equal to 10 to the power of 3 per meter. So this is going to be, now what I want to find displacement current density. So JD bar is going to be JC bar into epsilon omega by sigma. So its value is going to be 1.151 micro ampere per meter square. Micro ampere per meter square. So micro ampere per meter square, that is my current density. And we will observe one thing, that this JC bar and JD bar will always be right angles to each other. So if one is sine, the other will be cos. So its value JD bar is going to be 1.151 cos 10 to the power of 90 ampere per meter square. So this is my value. So we use the formula sigma by epsilon omega to find the current densities what we want. So we learned that in static, magnetic and electric fields, we will get electric field and magnetic field quantities independently. That means if you know the electric field, static electric field, you can't find the magnetic field created by that electric field, and because they are independent of each other. In static magnetic field also, if you know the magnetic field, you can't find the electric field. Whereas the time varying fields will have the dependent magnetic and electric fields, and this dependency of electric field quantity with the magnetic field quantity is identified by the Maxwells. And there are 4 Maxwell's equations, and which are derived from Ampere's circuital law, and Faraday's law, and Gauss's theorem, for electrostatics, and Gauss's theorem for magnetostatics. So these theorems will give 4 Maxwell's equations. These theorems, 4 theorems will give four Maxwell's equations. First, we will consider the Ampere's circuital law. What is Ampere's circuital law? We'll say that is integral of h bar dot dl bar is equal to I enclosed. This is the Ampere's circuital law. So if I have shown this in the previous class that if a closed path, if a current carrying conductor is this and magnetic field intensity or magnetic field intensity h bar along this closed path is nothing but it is the current I enclosed, that is the current flowing through this conductor I. So you have to remember one thing that this circuit which we are taking, that should enclose the current carrying conductor completely. Then only this formula, the Ampere's circuital law, that is h bar dot dl bar will be given as I enclosed, that is the current flowing through the enclosed conductor. Current flowing through the enclosed conductor. So what I can write this I as integral of j bar dot ds bar. I can write it as integral j bar dot ds bar, and this is the h bar dot dl bar. Now this is the line integral and this is the space integral, that is surface integral. So to convert this line integral into the surface integral, I use Stokes theorem. By using the Stokes theorem, I can convert this as del cross h bar into ds bar is equal to integral of j bar dot ds bar. J bar dot ds bar. So if you compare these two, what I will get? That is the same surfaces. If both the quantities are having the identical surface, then I can write this. What is J bar? J bar is the total current density. What is total current density? Which is JC bar plus JD bar dot ds bar. Can I write like this? Yes, I can write like this. And what is this is going to be equal to JC bar plus dou d bar by dou t dot ds bar. I can write like this. So what is my value is going to be? My del cross h bar is equal to JC bar, that is conduction current density, plus displacement current density. So this is the Maxwell's equation derived from Ampere's circuital law. Maxwell equation 1. This is Maxwell equation 1. I hope you understood this. Just conversion only. Next we will go for the second law, Faraday's law. We go for the second law, Faraday's law. So we will have the Maxwell's equations in two forms. One is the integral form and the other is the point form or differential form. So in integral form, h bar dot dl bar is equal to integral of jc bar plus dou d bar by dou t dot ds bar. This is the integral form of one of the Maxwell's equations. And for the same equation, this is the point form or differential form. It is the point form or differential form. So likewise, every Maxwell's equation will have integral form as well as the point form or differential form. It will have integral form and also the differential form, and we can use any form according to our requirement to solve any problem. Now we go for the second law, Faraday's law. So what we have derived in the previous class, as while we are dealing with the EMFs, we have derived that integral of E bar dot dl bar is equal to minus integral of dou B bar by dou t dot ds bar. What we have derived previously is that from Faraday's law, this is nothing but Faraday's law, that is, in a closed circuit, if we consider a closed loop, then E bar dot dl bar is equal to minus dou B bar by dou t dot ds bar. This is the Faraday's law. We know that this is the Faraday's law. So now again, by using the Stokes theorem, we can convert this line integral into the surface integral. So this is going to be del cross E bar is equal to minus del cross E bar dot ds bar is equal to minus integral of dou B bar by dou t dot ds bar. So what we will get, del cross E bar is equal to minus dou B bar by dou t. So we will have, this is the integral form of Maxwell's equation. This is the integral form of second Maxwell's equation, and this is the point form or differential form of second Maxwell's equation. So how we will get this equation? This is nothing but Faraday's law. So from this Faraday's law, we can derive this point form of Maxwell's equation. So this is the second Maxwell's equation. We have seen two Maxwell's equations. So we go for the third Maxwell's equation. We know that if in a particular area some electric flux is emanating, and this flux emanated is going to be equal to the charge enclosed in that surface area. So this is given by the equation d bar dot ds bar is equal to q enclosed. So this is going to be q enclosed. The charge is enclosed. So this is going to be q enclosed. Now, what is this? Q enclosed can be written as, you know that rho v, that is the volume charge density, is equal to dq by dv. So what is dq? dq is going to be rho v dv, and what is q? q is the integral of rho v dv. So what you can write instead of q, you can write integral of rho v dv, and this is the d bar dot ds bar. This is surface integral, this is the volume integral. So to convert this surface integral into volume integral, So we are considering the two surfaces. We are considering the surface such that every closed surface will have some volume. So that volume we are going to consider here. So here we can convert the surface integral into volume integral or vice versa by using the divergence theorem. By using the divergence theorem, this will become integral of del dot d bar dv is equal to integral of. So by using the divergence theorem, d bar dot ds bar will become del dot d bar dv. So rho v dv. By comparing these two, del dot d bar is equal to rho v, which is the Maxwell's third equation, which is the Maxwell's third equation in point form. It is in point form, it is in integral form. So in the same way, we go for the fourth equation, Maxwell's fourth equation, such that here fourth equation says that integral of b bar dot ds bar is equal to 0. Why we get 0 here? Why we get 0 here? Because we can get a monopole charge, and that is isolated charge we can get, single charge we can get, either positive charge or negative charge, we can get the single charge, but we can't get the monopole in magnet. That means the magnet will have two poles, north pole and south pole. If you cut this magnet into half, again the two halves will behave as a magnet, north pole and south pole. So we can't get the isolated single pole in magnetism. So that is the reason integral of b bar dot ds bar is going to be 0. So this is the integral form of the fourth Maxwell's equation, and by applying the divergence theorem, del dot b bar will become 0. This is the point form of the fourth Maxwell's equations. So we will have 4 Maxwell's equations, and these 4 Maxwell's equations, by using these 4 Maxwell's equations, we can deal the electromagnetics, or we can identify the properties of the electromagnetic waves, and we can find the interrelationship between the electric field and magnetic fields very conveniently by using the work of the Maxwell. It is very became useful for all the further studies. So we will do a problem using this Maxwell's equations for harmonically varying fields. If the magnetic field H bar is equal to this, that is 3x cos beta plus 6y sin alpha into Az bar, find current density J bar if fields are invariant with the time. Now this is a simple normal problem, and del cross H bar is equal to J bar plus dou d bar by dou t. This is the Maxwell's equation we have. But here what is he saying? If fields are invariant with the time. So this field is invariant with the time means this will be 0. This will be 0. So what will be my final answer? Del cross H bar is equal to J bar, because it is going to be 0 for the time invariant fields. Now we know H bar, we have to find J bar. So what we will do to find J bar? To find J bar, we use a del cross H bar. So what is del cross H bar? Del cross H bar is equal to AX bar, AY bar, AZ bar, and what is the del? Del is dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z. And what is h bar? H bar is going to be 0, 0, and this whole thing is having only a z bar. So 3, I will take it large. So 3x cos beta plus 6y sin alpha. If I expand along with the otherwise I can expand along with the, if I expand along with the first row, what I will get is z bar is equal to dou by dou y of 3x cos beta plus 6y sin alpha minus 0. So minus 0 will be left like that. Next is into ax bar. What I will get? Into ax bar. Next, minus dou by, for this, dou by dou x of these two multiplication. If I take this, then this multiplication will be dou by dou x of 3x cos beta plus 6y sin alpha into ay bar. Plus for az bar, this into this minus this into this will give 0. So we don't get any term there. Now what is the differentiation of that function with respect to y? With respect to y. So what is the differentiation of this function with respect to y? This function will become 0. Differentiation of this with y will be 6 sin alpha h. Next, what is the differentiation of this function with respect to x? Will be minus, differentiation of this will be 3 cos beta. So beta into ay bar. So what is the answer then? So what is the answer? My j bar will be 6 sin alpha ax bar minus 3 cos beta ay bar. So this is the current density I will have. So this is about the problem.